Hello everyone. In this video, what we're going to do is dive in and make our very first platforming game. And so what we're going to cover in this video is just how to get a character moving and getting some platforms onto our game. So hopefully you guys are getting a little bit better with Construct in terms of clicking through things and so forth. So I just opened up a project itself, an empty one, and we're just going to dive in. So first things first, we're just gonna add our character. So let's double click in the middle and go to sprite, and I'm gonna call this character for now. Character. And then I am going to place it here. And I'm eventually in another video, we're gonna have, you can check it out where you add your own sprites and start animating some stuff. Right now I'm just gonna pick a solid color, pick the paint can, and then I'm just gonna color this for now. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit X, and now I have my fancy character, which is pretty square, but it's okay. And so now I have my character. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of zoom in a little bit. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see all that. So now what we're gonna do is add some behaviors to it. And I haven't really talked about behaviors in other videos yet, but you probably see some around eventually. If you click on the item, you could go here to behaviors, and this is where you get to add a ton of cool behaviors to your game object. So when we add behavior, there's a lot of these items, cool things that you can do. But we're going to look under the movement section, and we're particularly looking at platform. So this is where it says in the description down here, jump and run along platforms, solid jump through objects. So that's exactly what we want to have. So we're going to go ahead and click on add. And then it'll say the behavior platform has been added. I'm going to go and close this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit play real quick. And you're going to see what happens with my character. Hey, it fell all the way down. So what that means is there is now gravity, physics, and so forth on this that allows it to have that mechanic. So if you still have your character highlighted, go ahead and look to your left in properties. If not, click on it, and then down here in the behavior section, you're going to see where it says platform. And now you're going to see where it says max speed, acceleration, deceleration, jump strength, gravity, max fall speed, double jump, jump sustain, default controllers, and enable. So what this does is this allows you to play around with your mechanics of your platforming game. All right, so I'm going to leave the defaults on for now. And what I'm going to do is let's add our next sprite. So double click, go to sprite, and we're going to add a platformer. So I'm just going to hit platformer. There we go. And we're going to hit insert. Click here. I'm going to just give it a different color for now, just so we know it's a platform. And I'm going to just squish it down, make it look like a platform itself. Now, if I just hit play, which I'm going to do, it's just going to go right through it. And that's not what we want to have happen. So when you have the platformer object clicked, you're going to go to the left and go to edit behaviors. And then you're going to add a new behavior. You're going to click on that. And the cool thing is you want to click on solid. All right. And what solid does is it makes the object impassable so other objects cannot move or fall through it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on add. And then I'm going to click on X. And now if you hit play, hey, you landed on something. Now the cool thing is, once you get to this point, you could use the up, down, left, right keys, arrow keys on your keyboard, and you are already moving and you are already jumping. So I could jump off and go, hey, there we go, right? So that's how you get this going. So I'm going to do one more step just to make this a little bit more fun. I'm going to click on the platformer object, do a Control C, copy paste, and just move some of these around here. And this is literally just cloning the game object itself here. Now if you hit play, you could go here, and now you could kind of jump around and so forth. Now I know I probably can't make some of these jumps, but yeah. But now you get to kind of play around with what kind of level you may want to have happen. All right, and then there's one last thing I do need to cover for this, and it's right now you can't really pass this screen itself. So what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom out a little bit so then you could take a look at this, and I'm going to add a couple more platforms right here just so then you can see. So I'm going to hit play and see how this is getting cut off right here. So what we're going to do is add one more behavior, and this is where it's going to move this viewport, this dotted line piece, with like the camera itself with your character. All right, so go ahead and click on your character, and then go to the properties on the left, and you're going to go to add edit behaviors. We're going to add a new behavior, and what we're going to look for is something called scroll to, and what this does is it always centers the view on this object or at the midpoint of multiple objects. For right now, we always want this centered, so we're just going to go with this. So we're going to click on add and go here, and we're going to click X, and then if you hit play, you're going to be able to now see how the camera slightly moved, and then when you move, you're going to get more of your platforms that were a bit off screen before now are into the screen itself. So this is something that is very crucial for you to now have access to everything that you're trying to do in this whole space. So now I'm going to zoom out all the way and say, well, you now have the entire gray area set up where you have access to make all your platforms. Okay, so just a quick review on what we did. We created only 2 game objects. One is a character, one's a platformer. What you're going to do is in your character, we added the behavior called platform and scroll to. And then I created another game object called platformer, and the only behavior we added was solid. And now you are able to, by default, get your character moving around in this environment, and now you can start working on your level design and an idea of how some of this goes. All right, so that concludes this video. We'll see you next time.